Good morning, everyone. Now, class, we have already started with our chapter first of history, that is French Revolution. We have done the causes of the French Revolution, and then we move towards the movement of the Constitution of 1791. That is how was it formed. Now, because of this, what we did in our previous class was that what was the, you can say, the main change that came after the Constitution of 1791. And we have already done that the main objective was actually to limit the power of the monarch and to divide the powers between the legislature, executive, and the judiciary. And with this, that is with the Constitution of 1791, France was now a constitutional monarchy and it was not only a pure monarchy. Then we also did that what are the various other changes if we talk in terms of the political system, यानी voting criteria क्या था, कौन active citizens थे, कौन passive citizens थे, ये जो है ये सारा theoretical जो है we have already done. I told you that in our next class we will be understanding this through the table. So today we will understand this, that is the political system under the Constitution of 1791 through this table. Now this table is also or this picture is also given in your NCERT book. Now understand very clearly. I'll try to explain you this through your through this picture. Okay. Now concentrate. I told you that there were total 28 million people if we talk in terms of the population. The population that was there was actually 28 million if we talk in terms of the number. Now these people, that is when we say that these 28 million people did not have the right to vote. That means जब ये कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ 1791 बना तो ये नहीं बोला कि ये सारे के सारे जो लोग हैं दे कैन वोट. All the citizens were divided into two, as you can see, active citizens and the passive citizens. Now active citizens, please understand, were the people who could vote. Now these were the people who could vote and these were the people who had the right to decide who will actually rule them. Now when I'm talking about this one, that is how do these people were categorized as the active citizens. These included the 4 million people. And who were these 4 million people? These 4 million people were men above the age of 25 years, men above the age of 25 years who gave the taxes equal to 3 days wages of a laborer. I already have told you in our previous class that who were the active citizens. So active citizens were the people, specifically men of age 25 years and above, who gave the tax equal to 3 days wage of a laborer. And the rest of the citizens of France were passive citizens. And who were these passive citizens? These included women, children, and youth below 25 years. These were the people who were women, children, and youth below 25 years, and also the people, the men above the age of 25 years who did not pay taxes at least equal to the 3 days wage of a laborer. Now after this, what is the next thing? The next thing is these active citizens were the people who gave vote, and these people actually elected the electors. Now who were these electors? These electors were the 50,000 men, and these men were the people who were elected by the active citizens by the system of election, that is by the system of voting. Now these 50,000 men then finally voted and elected the people of National Assembly, which were 745 members. Okay, so 745 members were elected by the electors, and these formed the National Assembly. And this whole was the system of legislature. Legislature कौन होता है? Legislature is the body which actually makes law. You already know legislature has the duty of making law. Now we move on to the next part, which is our executive. What is the work of executive? The work of executive is to implement the laws made by the legislature. Now these executives included the king and the ministers. The king and the ministers were the executive, and these were the people over whom National Assembly had full control. यानी नेशनल असेंबली जो है वो कंट्रोल करती थी वर्किंग ऑफ किंग एंड द मिनिस्टर्स. Here we should understand one more thing, that the king had one veto power. What is this veto power? In certain decisions and in few of the things, the laws could not be passed or the decision could not be taken until the king signed that particular thing. So he had a special power, which was the veto power. Obviously, he was the king. He will have some powers which are above the others. So that is why he was given one veto power. Now we have the judge. That is our judiciary. Now, as I told you in our previous class, that the judges were also elected by the active citizens. Okay. With this, we should add one more point, that the people to become electors or the members of the National Assembly, you should be among the highest taxpayers. मतलब जो लोग टैक्स देते थे उनमें से जो लगभग जनरली जो लोग हाईएस्ट टैक्सेस देते थे, यानी जिनकी इनकम सबसे ज्यादा होती थी, these were the people who were given the important position in the National Assembly, and also they were only the people who were considered or who could be elected as electors. So let me make it clear again. Active citizen मतलब वो citizen जो वोट दे सकते हैं, और ये वो लोग थे जो 25 years above men थे और जो टैक्सेस देते थे इक्वल टू एटलीस्ट 3 days wage of a laborer. ये लोग मिलके चूज करते थे 50,000 इलेक्टर्स को. 50,000 इलेक्टर्स चूज करते थे नेशनल असेंबली को. नेशनल असेंबली जो है उनका कंट्रोल, ये नेशनल असेंबली और ये सारी चीजें आ जाती है अंडर लेजिस्लेचर. उसके बाद जो एग्जीक्यूटिव थे यानी इम्प्लीमेंटिंग बॉडी इंक्लूडेड द किंग एंड द मिनिस्टर्स. नाउ किंग एंड द मिनिस्टर्स जो है दे वर द इम्प्लीमेंटिंग और द एग्जीक्यूटिव बॉडी. इनके ऊपर टोटल कंट्रोल था किसका? नेशनल असेंबली का. नाउ आफ्टर they were actually controlled by the National Assembly, but king had one veto power. Now how were the judiciary or the judges elected? The judges were also elected by the active citizens. Now if we leave the active citizens, the other part of the country were the passive citizens who did not have the voting right, which included women, children, youth below 25 years, and men above 25 years who did not even give taxes equal to 3 days wage of a laborer. Now with this you should also understand, as I already told you, that elector बनने के लिए या national assembly के member बनने के लिए you should be somebody who is giving lot of taxes. मतलब highest taxpayers के bracket में you should be included, then only you will be the member of the National Assembly or you may take the position as an elector. यानी somewhere the power was still under the rich people. ठीक है, this is the whole, you can say, the political system under the Constitution of 91, which we have done, I think, very nicely in detail through our table also and theoretically also. Now, after this whole change has come, we have done that they had that Declaration of Right of Men and Citizens, जहाँ पे fundamental rights दिए थे, but specifically for men. And उसके बाद हमने few symbols के बारे में पढ़ा था, which signify liberty, somewhere equality, and these kind of ideas. Now what happened? Coming on to the next phase, the king accepted the constitutional monarchy. राजा ने accept तो कर लिया constitutional monarchy because he had no other option. But somewhere in his mind he was not happy with it. Why was he not happy? Simply because जब वो राजा था, he had all the powers, he had absolute powers. But अब क्या है? अब तो उसको power जो है वो share करने पड़ेंगे with the members of the this National Assembly, executive and the judiciary. That is why he was not happy, and he was wanting to bring some change through which he can move back to the system of monarchy. Now, after that, what happened when he wanted to move back to this system of monarchy? Obviously, he needed somebody's help, and somewhere there were other countries, the nearby countries, or you can say the neighboring countries, who were also not happy with this system because they also were actually afraid कि अगर ऐसा कोई सिस्टम अपने आ गया, ऐसा कोई सिस्टम अगर अपनी कंट्री में आ गया, तो हमारी जो मोनार्की है, हमारी जो राजगद्दी है, वो भी छिन जाएगी और ऐसा ही somewhat constitutional monarchy आ जाएगा and our power will be reduced. So some neighboring countries also wanted this to end. So they wanted to help Louis XVI with this. So the countries which wanted to help was Prussia and Austria. So when the king was planning such kind of thing, where they were planning to attack the France again, that is to attack the French people again, what happened? That somewhere the common people came to know about this. Okay, so when the common people came to know about this, they themselves actually thought कि we are now ready for the war again, because ये लोग हम पे अटैक करेंगे, वापस से क्या होगा, monarchy आ जाएगी and again the whole system will be restored and we will be facing that problem again. So now National Assembly was in favor that they will also war against Prussia and Austria because they were actually wanting to, these countries were wanting to attack on France. So the French people themselves decided that we will only wage a war. Thousands of people volunteered for the army, यानी कि लोग खुद आगे आके बोल रहे थे, हाँ, we are ready to join the army to fight for our country and to retain this kind of governance, and so that the monarchy does not come back और हमारी freedom और ये सब maintain रहे. Now it was now seen as a war against king and aristocracy all over Europe. मतलब सिर्फ not only in France, पर जितने भी किंग्स और एरिस्टोक्रेसीज है, इन सबके खिलाफ ऑल ओवर दी यूरोप सम काइंड ऑफ वॉर वाज वेजिंग. अब इस टाइम पे क्या है, पीपल वर फुल ऑफ एनर्जी, पेट्रियोटिज्म, ये सारी फीलिंग्स इनके अंदर डेवलप हो रही थी एंड बहुत सारे पेट्रियोटिक सॉन्ग्स गा रहे थे व्हेन दे वर मूविंग टू द वॉर फील्ड. तो ये जो पेट्रियोटिक सॉन्ग्स है, दे दैट sang, which included one of the song was Marseilles and it was composed by the poet Robert D. Li. Now ये जो है, ये वाले जो हमारे poet है, he composed this one patriotic song, and when the people, that is specifically जो soldiers बने थे, they were marching from Marseilles to Paris, they were singing this song Marseilles. Okay, Marseilles एक जगह है और Marseilles जो है it was a song. तो Marseilles से जब वो पेरिस मूव कर रहे थे, they were singing this song and it became so important that today also this is the national anthem of France that was sung at that time, signifying the patriotism, okay, among the people. Now अब देखो लोग जो है वो war में engaged हैं. Already France was facing so many problems, so there were economic losses and difficulties during the war. तो जो women है उनको इस टाइम पे कोप अप करना पड़ रहा था. क्या कोप अप? Because they had to face नॉट ओनली इकोनॉमिक लॉस, मतलब इकोनॉमिक लॉस हो रहा था तो उनको घर के काम के साथ साथ क्या काम करना पड़ रहा था, बाहर जाके। क्यों? क्योंकि ज्यादातर जो मेन है वो तो चले गए थे फॉर फाइटिंग इन द वॉर। So women had to cope up with the task of earning a living also and looking after their families also. So women actually played very important role during this time. अब क्या हुआ, ये जो वॉर कंटिन्यू हो रहा था इस टाइम पे फ्रांस में एक और चीज हो रही थी, और वो क्या थी, जैकोबियन क्लब फॉर्म हो रहे थे। जैकोबियन क्लब क्या है? जैकोबियन क्लब, यहाँ पे वी डोंट मीन क्लब्स बाय द क्लब दैट वी अंडरस्टैंड नाउ, यहाँ पे है एसोसिएशन या ग्रुप जैसे। और ये जो जैकोबियन क्लब्स है यानी कहीं ना कहीं एक तरीके पॉलिटिकल ग्रुप्स बन गए थे यहाँ पे। तो ये जो पॉलिटिकल ग्रुप्स बन गए थे ये बोल रहे थे कि ज्यादातर जो सारा पावर है ना फ्रांस का, वो अभी भी किसके पास है? रिचर सेक्शन ऑफ द सोसाइटी के पास है। तो वी ऑलरेडी स्टडीड कि नेशनल असेंबली और इलेक्टर बनने के लिए आप हाईएस्ट टैक्स पेयर्स होने चाहिए, अमंग द हाईएस्ट टैक्स पेयर्स। तो दे वांटेड कि हमारे पास भी कुछ पावर होने चाहिए। वो भी अब डिस्कस करते थे कि गवर्नमेंट कैसी होनी चाहिए, प्लान कैसा होना चाहिए, कैसे मतलब थोड़ा चेंजेस और लाने चाहिए फ्रांस के पॉलिटिकल स्ट्रक्चर में। और ये इनमें से सबसे फेमस जो थे वो जिनको जैकोबियंस ही थे। और इनको नाम कहाँ से मिला? बाय अ कॉन्वेंट। कॉन्वेंट क्या? बेसिकली एक बिल्डिंग जहाँ पे कम्युनिटी अपने रिलीजियस वाले लाइफ को डिस्कस करने के लिए गैदर होती है। मतलब वहां पे वो गैदर होकर डिस्कस कर रहे थे तो वहां से इन्होंने नाम ले लिया जैकोबियन क्लब। तो वो जो कॉन्वेंट जहाँ पे इकट्ठे होते थे वो होता था सेंट जैकोब इन पेरिस। तो सेंट जैकोब इन पेरिस जो है इनके नाम पे हम देखेंगे कि ये जैकोबियन क्लब बन गया था। अब ये जैकोबियन क्लब जो है ये बहुत ज्यादा धीरे धीरे फेमस हो गए। विमेन ने भी बहुत सारे अपने जैकोबियन क्लब बनाए थे इस टाइम तक, और विमेन के बारे में एक पूरा सेक्शन है जहाँ हम डिटेल में पढ़ेंगे। अब हम देख लेते हैं कि इस टाइम के जो जैकोबियन क्लब थे उसके जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट और फेमस वाला था उसके हेड थे मैक्सिमिलियन रॉबस्पियर। प्लीज रिमेम्बर इट कि इनका नाम आगे आएगा, पूरा एक टॉपिक है। तो रिमेम्बर हिज नेम इज मैक्सिमिलियन रॉबस्पियर। नाउ ये जो मैक्सिमिलियन रॉबस्पियर है, these were the actually he was the person or he was the leader of the Jacobian club who will become the next leader of France. Now this person, you should remember the name of this person because we have the topic, a whole topic on this topic on this person because he will be the next leader of France. Now moving on to the next part. इसमें ज्यादातर जो है कॉमन पीपल थे और अनप्रिविलेज्ड वन थे, यानी द पुअर पीपल वर इंक्लूडेड इन दीज क्लब बिकॉज दे वर नॉट गिवन द पावर in the Constitution of 1791. Now, इसमें were included shoemakers, watchmakers, printers, pastry cooks, daily wage workers, servants, etc. These all were the parts of various Jacobian clubs. Now, जो Jacobian club के member है ना, वो specifically है ना एक अलग kind की dressing पहनते थे। क्यों पहनते थे अलग kind की dressing? Because they wanted to somewhat show that we are different from the aristocracy or the rich class. और जो rich class है ना, they used to wear you can say different kind of trousers जिनको बोलते थे knee breeches. Knee breeches are kind of trousers which are a bit you can say puffed up, थोड़े से they are a bit open towards the upper portion, और जो नीचे मतलब below the knee जो है they are sticking to your leg, मतलब एक special kind of trousers that are common nowadays also. So मतलब I suppose they are called balloon pants kind of stuff where they are a bit you can say expanded towards the blown up towards till your knee and then it is a bit they are actually sticking to your leg. तो वैसे kind की जो dresses है ये वो लोग पहनते थे, नॉट द जैकोबियन और द पुअर पीपल, जो रिच सेक्शन है वो पहनते थे। तो इन्होंने अपने को नाम दिया सेंट प्लूटोस, जिसका मतलब है विदाउट नी ब्रीचेस, और ये लोग जो है स्ट्राइप पैंट्स जैसे ट्राउजर्स जैसे पहनते थे टू शो दैट दे आर डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द रिच क्लास। अब इन लोगों ने प्लान किया 1792 में that now things need to be changed, एक total change चाहिए हमें. And they were very angry because the supply of the food was very less, short supplies होते, मतलब food की कमी होने लग गई थी और बेसिक चीजों की प्रॉब्लम होने लग गई थी. तो फाइनली इन लोगों ने क्या किया, 10th अगस्त को they went into the palace of Tuileries. ये जो टैलरीज है, दिस इज एक्चुअली द पैलेस ऑफ द किंग ऑफ फ्रांस, और उन लोगों ने गार्ड को एकदम मैसेकर कर दिया और उसके बाद किंग को हॉस्टेज बना लिया फॉर सेवरल आवर्स, यानी उन्हीं के पैलेस में उनको बंदी जैसे बना लिया. किसको? लुई 16 को. नाउ व्हेन दे डिड दिस, they finally decided that what should be done after this. So then the whole assembly voted for the imprisonment of the royal family because somewhat they felt that the royal family was only responsible for the situation. Why? Because they are saying कि अगर then when the everything was solved, constitutional monarchy हो गई थी, what was the need for the king to somewhat plan for one more war on the French people? Otherwise they would have gone easily into their activities और चीजें सेटल हो जाती और थोड़ी डेवलपमेंट हो जाती. पर उनको उस चीज से फोकस हटा के कॉमन लोगों को वापस क्या करना पड़ा, वॉर की तरफ मूव करना पड़ा. क्यों? बिकॉज दिस किंग वॉज प्लानिंग फॉर समथिंग ऑफ दिस सॉर्ट विद द अदर कंट्रीज, सो दे हेल्ड द किंग रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर ऑल द प्रॉब्लम्स. तो और अब इन्होंने एक और चीज की, इन्होंने अब क्या इलेक्शन का सिस्टम चेंज कर दिया. All the men of 21 years and above, regardless of wealth, got the voting right. फिर रिपीट करें, अपने को पता है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ 1791 में सबके पास राइट टू वोट नहीं था, सारे मेन के पास भी नहीं था. क्यों? क्योंकि एक तो 25 years above और सेकेंडली क्या था कि उनको टैक्सेस देने चाहिए इक्वल टू 3 days वेज ऑफ अ लेबर. तो अब ये बोल रहे हैं सारे के सारे मैन अबव द एज ऑफ 21 years जो है वो वोट दे सकते हैं. रिमेम्बर ये क्यों हो रहा है कि इस बार जैकोबियन क्लब कहीं ना कहीं ज्यादा पावरफुल है और इसमें ज्यादातर कौन लोग हैं? गरीब लोग, पुअर लोग हैं. इसीलिए इस बार वो वोटिंग राइट सारे मैन को देना चाहते हैं रिगार्डलेस ऑफ देयर इनकम, वेल्थ एक्सेट्रा. तो 21 सितंबर 1792 को एक नई इलेक्टेड असेंबली जो है उन्होंने अब बुलाया कन्वेंशन. उन्होंने अपनी असेंबली का नाम अब क्या कर दिया? कन्वेंशन, जिसमें इन्होंने बोल दिया अब हम मोनार्की को कंप्लीटली अबॉलिश कर रहे हैं. That means we don't want any form of monarchy, whether it is complete monarchy or whether it is constitutional monarchy. We need monarchy to end now because they held the king responsible for the problem. और इसके बाद इन्होंने फ्रांस को डिक्लेयर कर दिया अ रिपब्लिक. What is a republic? Republic is when the head of the state, that is the head of the country, is an elected person, whether directly or indirectly. I'll give you one example. India is a republic. Why? Because जो हमारे president है, who is the head of the country, is indirectly elected. Head of the government is the prime minister in India, and head of the country is president. So because our president is indirectly elected, that is why we are a republican form of country. तो अब ये बोल रहे हैं कि हमें रिपब्लिक चाहिए. क्यों? क्योंकि पहले तो हेड ऑफ द कंट्री क्या था? मोनार्क था, यानी लुई 16 थे, और कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन भी था जो डेमोक्रेसी के ऑलमोस्ट समवॉट यू कैन से इक्वेटेड टू डेमोक्रेसी. तो हम ये बोलेंगे कि ये अब बोल रहे थे हमें जो हेड ऑफ दी कंट्री है वो भी अब मोनार्क नहीं चाहिए, हमें वो भी इलेक्टेड मेंबर चाहिए. इसीलिए अब से वी आर पुटिंग एन एंड टू द मोनार्की एंड फ्रॉम नाउ ऑन France will be considered a republic where we will decide the head of the country as well, whether directly, whether indirectly, but we will actually decide. So in our country we are republic because we decide though indirectly. कि हमने जिनको elect किया वो आगे जाके president को elect करते हैं. तो हमारा जो है रिपब्लिक है along with democracy. So they also wanted at that time, just imagine, उस टाइम भी उन्होंने एक बहुत बड़ा चेंज लेके आए थे. पहले तो मोनार्की से कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल मोनार्की और अब टोटल रिपब्लिकन फॉर्म ऑफ गवर्नमेंट चाहिए इनको. फाइनली जब ये हो गया, अब इन लोगों ने एक केस चलाया, मतलब कोर्ट की, अब जो ये राजा है इसका क्या करना चाहिए. तो फाइनली कोर्ट में ये डिसाइड किया कि ही has done something wrong and he had the charge of treason. Treason का मतलब होता है देशद्रोह. When you are doing something against your own country. तो कि भाई he is a traitor, he is somebody who has done treason, यानी कि देशद्रोह किया अपनी कंट्री के अगेंस्ट. इन्होंने कहीं ना कहीं कुछ प्लानिंग की है. That is why for this kind of crime he was finally executed and he was sentenced to death. And after, you can say a small time period, his wife was also sentenced to death because they were also somewhat considered responsible for the conditions that the French people had to face. With this, we will finally see the end of monarchy and coming of republic, and then we will see the coming of the new leader, the leader whom I said whose name you should remember, who was the Maximilian Robespierre, and he will become the next leader of France. And with this, we will see a new phase in the French history. How was his rule? Was it good? Was it bad? What was the problems? Did he rule nicely or not? That is what we will do in our next class. So that is it for today. I suppose everything is clear. We will proceed and we'll continue with the chapter and we'll move ahead and see the other aspects of this chapter and the French Revolution and French people in our next class. So meet you all in our next class. This is it for today.